Welcome to CTV News Atlantic at 6 p.m.
Today we'll be discussing a group of panelists.
These bloggers are going to be reviewing an article on happiness.
So let's move on to that article.
In a study conducted by Lee Rowland and Oliver Curry, researchers examined the relationship between performing random acts of kindness and the person's level of happiness. Specifically, Rowland and Curry examined how a person's level of happiness changed when they performed random acts of kindness to family, friends, and strangers. In society today, people are stigmatized according to their race, gender, sexuality, class, ethnic group, and their ability to perform certain tasks. Because of these stigmatizations, many people struggle with mental health issues. So this study shows that by performing random acts of kindness, a person's level of happiness will increase, which is an important factor for improving one's mental health. The researchers wanted to see if performing random acts of kindness led to an increased sense of happiness. It has been shown in social psychology research that when a person does a random act of kindness or helps another individual voluntarily, they tend to feel better about themselves.
The researchers set out to answer their question by sampling a group of just under 700 people. These people are split into 5 relatively equal-sized groups. The experimental groups consisted of a group that performed acts of kindness towards people that they had strong ties with, a group that performed acts of kindness towards people that they had weak ties with or strangers, a group that performed acts of kindness towards themselves, and a group that observed acts of kindness that they witnessed in their day-to-day life. A 5th group that acted as a control group that neither performed acts of kindness nor observed them. A self-report happiness scale was used to record each participant's happiness level before the study and was used to record their happiness level again after the completion of the 7-day study. The results of the study displayed that all 4 experimental groups experienced an increase in happiness compared to the control group that experienced a slight decrease in happiness. There was no significant difference in the increase of happiness between those being kind to others and those being kind to themselves. Nor was there any significant difference to the increase of happiness between the participants that were kind to people that they had strong ties with and the participants that were kind to people that they had weak ties with or strangers. Participants performing kind acts and the participants observing kind acts experienced relatively the same increase in happiness. It was shown that the number of kind acts that the participant performed and observed significantly impacted the increase of happiness that the participant would experience. A greater number of kind acts observed and performed led to a greater amount of happiness. Acts of kindness towards the self and towards others, as well as observing acts of kindness, was shown to increase happiness over time.
Based on the results of the study, the researchers found that being kind to others, being kind to yourself, and actively observing the kindness happening all around us can boost our subjective happiness. The results indicate that performing kindness activities for 7 days increases happiness. Additionally, the more kindness activities that one does, the greater the increase in happiness. Neither effect differed across experimental groups, suggesting that kindness to strong ties, to weak ties, and to self, as well as observing acts of kindness, have equally positive effects on happiness. They also determined that further work is needed to explore the nuances of effects of kindness to further explore how the different acts of kindness can individually affect our happiness. This study is one that should be shown to many more people and emphasized. Kindness is so critical to our world and it makes everyone happier, so why shouldn't we be kind to people? The only weakness that was found when looking through the study was the fact that the control group in the study was not allocated randomly. Instead, what they did was that the participants self-selected to the group by not starting the experiment on the designated day. They did look for differences between the control group who self-selected and the experimental group, but they found no significant difference. In the future, if they were going to do this experiment another time, the control group should be randomly selected so they didn't have to even worry about skewing the results.
The findings of this study are very useful in an everyday lifestyle. By simply performing random acts of kindness, it can greatly improve your overall happiness. Whether it be kindness towards others or being kind to yourself, it has a positive impact on one's mental health and well-being. Everyone has a bad day every now and then, for whatever reason, and this study proves that by doing something as small as buying a coffee for someone can not only improve their happiness, but also improve your happiness. The more acts of kindness you perform, the greater the increase in happiness on both ends. Many acts of kindness are costless, such as holding a door for someone, which also takes less than a few seconds. While you may not think that this can increase someone's happiness, it is important to put yourselves in their place and see how something that small can have a positive impact on their mental health.